Previously on Berserk. A romance built on trust ends in a lie.
Raped you, didn't he? Yes!
Then, a mother's lost child leads to trauma.
I'm afraid the prognosis doesn't look good. Your fiancé has slipped into a coma. All we can do now is wait.
The advice of a mysterious stranger causes concern. And finally, a shocking return.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Today is the day, boys. Today is the day. We have waited so long for this. Well, for me, it's been at least 6 years. But for many of you poor souls, it has been much longer. Thank you, Mira, for not scuffing us with a Griffith or Rickert focused chapter. We are finally getting to see Casca back to her senses. We will finally hear her speak for the first time in like over 20 years. It would really suck to be Casca's voice actor if to have all your lines replaced with guh for a majority of your series. Anyways, this chapter was pretty short, but I have a lot to say about each page. We begin with Casca waking up for the first time as herself. She must be really tripping balls waking up in a world with fairies surrounded by giant mushrooms. The last time she was awake, giant monsters and supernatural creatures weren't the norm. She mainly experienced that through the eclipse, and chances are she is not thinking of that at the moment. The Fairy Queen tells Casca, Farnese, and Shurike that they have been asleep for a day, which felt like many harsh days to them. So one day has officially passed, meaning several years have passed in the outside world, based on how the time passes in Elfhelm. That might be why we won't see Griffith or Rickert until we get off the boat again. Now that Casca's back and we can worry less about her, it's fun to imagine what's going on in the outside world as 2 to 3 years passes. I find it hard to believe that an ambitious man like Griffith did nothing but sit on his throne and scratch his balls during that time. Anyways, I got a little off track. We have Casca back and I'm already looking forward to the next big thing. The first thing that Casca says is that she's finally back. You heard it from her mouth too, she's finally back, boys! She thanks Farnese, Shurike, and Ivalera for everything. You know, feeding her, bathing her, making sure she doesn't get in trouble. The works. They were practically super nannies. Casca was actually semi-awake, almost asleep the whole time, looking out through the eyes of a girl named Elaine. I guess Elaine, the name she was given by the prostitutes in the Tower of Conviction art, became her name for her alter ego. I hope we aren't just giving this alter ego a name so it'll come back. Oh god, that would be terrible if she switches between Elaine and Casca. Let's just try to forget Elaine. Remember her, but hope she doesn't come back. Shurike notices that Casca looks more serious. She doesn't look like a drooling mess that can't count to 3 anymore. Casca doesn't remember everything from her past. All she remembers is she went to rescue Griffith and that's it. Shurike and Farnese just look at each other. We literally spent days trying to get your memories back and you still don't remember? It's probably best that she doesn't remember those points. So at the moment she only has her original memories plus some of the foggy memories of her journey after the eclipse. It really warmed my heart to see a full page of her eyes watering when they mentioned Guts' name. I can imagine she understands how much Guts has suffered protecting her and staying by her side. Plus, she remembers they have a child together. Just as Casca transformed from a potato to a person, she no longer fit the potato sack she was wearing before. She was given a beautiful dress, something you would see from a fairy tale or a Disney movie. You see, all that time Miura was playing Idolmaster, he was really conducting research. Miura really did set this up like some Disney story. Casca dressing up like a princess ready to meet her Prince Charming Guts. And this is the long-awaited reunion. It's finally here. Oh my god, I was almost crying having her walk closer to Guts as her memories flashed by. This really has to be the climax of Berserk. Or the pre-climax. It's just giving us a recap of all we've gone through in this series. It was so beautiful until she looked at Guts and no! She remembers it all! No! Why does it have to happen like this so soon? It was inevitable that she would remember it, but why so soon? At least give Guts a few words with her. And the chapter's also cut out. That's fine. That's fine. We can wait till the next chapter. When is that? There's no date on this page. There's no date on this page. Ah, shit! There's another hiatus? Why, Miura? Why with this cliffhanger? I'm gonna go get some air and then we'll come back for the rest. Okay. All that's left is to go over my final thoughts and what to expect next chapter, sometime in the next 6 months. That's not from an official source, that's just going by my own theory with how typically these hiatuses last. Well, this chapter was still amazing. We have been closely building up to Casca's full awakening for 3 chapters now, and no matter how much it kills me, I think it was the right move to space it out like this. It took us 20 years to get to this point. You don't want everything revealed in a single chapter. My only gripe is the hiatus, but that's fine as well, I can wait. I don't think Miura had Casca act like that just so she can be broken again. He wouldn't be that cruel. Well, this is Berserk. I'm sure if Miura hadn't become the softie that he is today, we would have a scene next chapter of Casca silently leaving at night and necking herself. What I do expect is Guts having to help her overcome this. It's all in the past, she just has to look to the future. Maybe that's what she'll see in her child with Guts. That's quite literally their future. I don't see Casca being much of a fighter anymore. She's wearing a frilly dress and has her hair braided. Unless she gets some power up from the Elf Queen, I don't see how she can even keep up. Then again, she survived just fine, not contributing in the past. Instead, I see her actually staying behind in Elfhelm, as Guts and crew go off and take care of Griffith and the lost child situation. The only problem with that idea is it goes against Guts' promise in the beginning that he would never leave Casca's side again. But I don't know, I think the reason I want Casca to stay in Elfhelm is just because Guts worked so hard to get her sanity back. And even though he wants to be with her, I feel like she's safest there. I really felt every emotion reading this chapter. Excitement from seeing Casca, happiness of seeing how she reacted to hearing Guts' name, sadness at her reaction to her returning memories, and finally anger at there being another hiatus. If you get all of these from me, you have a masterful chapter. Please rate the video, and I really don't want to ask anybody to subscribe. There won't be any chapters in like months. Do whatever you feel is right. Bye bye.